there's literally only 21 people there at the conference. So Friday night, there was no one there. He was sitting at his booth, and I'm like, who the hell is not talking to Dean Haglund? So I went up, and we talked for like 2 hours. And he remembered me when I saw him a couple years later, and I gave him. So I think I told this story before. I bought some stuff off of him because he did talk to me for like 2 hours. I felt obligated almost, but I still wanted it. And he was having trouble with his Stripe reader and getting it to work with his phone. And he had an error. And he had to update it, and he's struggling with it. And I said, weren't you the tech guy on the X-Files? He said, yeah, shut up. So when I saw him, when I saw him the second time, I made a T-shirt with his face, said, I'm not really a tech guy. I just play one on TV. And he remembered the incident, and I gave him the T-shirt, but he mentioned it on his podcast. So I got a shout out from Dean Haglund on his podcast.
Honestly, isn't that like Relentless Geekery? Isn't that what it's all about?
Yeah.
I love people that I really have admired from afar, and then get a chance to do it from a near, and you find out that they're really cool people, that they're witty, that they like being joshed with, not just worshipped. You know what I mean? My best interactions have always been not where I got to spend 10 seconds in the line to shake Billy D. Williams' hand, but where while everybody else was doing that, I got a chance to meet this lesser actor only in terms of fame, not in terms of quality, and famous comic book creators and stuff. One day we'll have to just do a whole episode of like, I've had so many wonderful opportunities like that to talk at length, to let people know that it's just, you shaped me, reading Ray Bradbury, reading your books when I was young, it gave me such a sensibility for the rest of my life of what quality this can be. You know what I mean? That it isn't just, it's not about rocket ships. It's about the people in those rocket ships and stuff like that.
I took my kids to a New York Comic-Con once, and we were walking around, and they had the signature row, and everybody's like, this much money, this much money, this much money. And I told the kids, I said, look, guys, I just cannot afford to bring us here, go through everything, buy a couple things,
and go down the row.
And get you. And they didn't care. They were young. They were like, oh, we don't need signatures. But we're walking. I look over, and I'm like, that gentleman looks very familiar. There was nobody around him, and he was sitting down. His wife was next to him. And I kind of went up and said, are you Peter Mayhew? And he goes, well, yes, I am. And I said,
out of costume, he's not recognizable, but you know what I mean? Who else is as tall as a Wookiee? Good for you, man.
He and his wife talked to us and the kids for like 20 minutes, and they were astounded because he's sitting down and he's as tall as they are when he's sitting down. And they talked to him, and we got pictures. I mean, his wife took like 20 pictures with him, and the kids had such a good time. And he said, well, you guys want a signature? I said, not to be rude or anything, but how much are they? He says, I'm just giving them to you. I'm like, yeah, please. And the kids were so excited. And then when he passed away, they both teared up a little bit because they remembered that so fondly.